In one or two of these videos, I've tried to uncover metaphors by going through some kind of pretty basic etymological analysis. So I've tried to uncover what kind of metaphorical processes are in place, what kind of models are being referred to, what kind of embodied actions are being kind of played out poetically in the mind by looking at the origins of the words we use when we talk about those things. So, for example, when I've talked in relation to source, path, goal metaphors, I've often referred to the fact that we use educational processes. We talk about educational processes in those terms, and we find it in words like a course of study. So I'm kind of looking at the etymological origins of the word course to uncover its use of progression metaphors, movement through space metaphors, journey metaphors. And as I've said before, I think etymology isn't explanation. I'm not sure you necessarily get to what is kind of really going on just by uncovering etymology. But I do think it's interesting, and certainly when I don't understand the etymology of a word, and I just find myself using it, or even when I do understand the etymology and still find myself using it, I kind of find myself using it in ways which are not terribly satisfying. And the one I've been thinking about most recently is inauguration, and I guess this comes out from the Obama's inauguration speech, which was interesting for all sorts of reasons. But I've been thinking about this term inauguration, and clearly inauguration is a deeply abstract idea as far as I can tell. So if I'm understanding it, and if there is any validity to ideas to do with conceptual metaphors, if I am understanding it, I must be understanding it in terms of concrete experiences. And I think that understanding is actually quite shallow, but nevertheless, what are the concrete experiences which are kind of giving form to this term inauguration at the moment? And if I dwell on this concept, I beg your pardon, if I dwell on the etymology of inauguration, is there a more interesting set of metaphors I can draw on which will deepen, if that's the right word, enrich my understanding of that term. Certainly when I think of the term inauguration without too much consideration, I just get a series of iconic images. I imagine some well-dressed man standing on some kind of elevated platform saying something to a group of other people, and I have this sense, there's a sense in that particular image in which it's leading to something. There's a kind of, I get this kind of feeling of something opening beyond the end of that. So inauguration seems to be, I mean what it is, I suppose, but there's I can kind of feel a response going on within myself around that word to do with things opening, first steps being taken, doors swinging, that kind of sense. But this well-dressed man standing on an elevated platform precedes those more kinesthetic images. Now, I think not invalid, since that seems to be what's kind of going on with inaugurations. Certainly they do tend to involve well-dressed men standing on platforms. But I am thinking, is there something more interesting beyond that, lurking in the etymology? And I'll be honest, I'm sort of guessing at the etymology here, but it seems to me that the core part of the word inauguration is this word auger, A-U-G-E-R, with the rest of it being kind of hedges around the side of that. And auger, I think, means something like, well actually I think it means two things, one of which is irrelevant. I think it means something to do with making a hole in something. I'm pretty sure that's nothing to do with it. The other sense of auger, which is probably more relevant, seems to be to do with prediction, or to do with signs and premonitions. So if something is a forewarning of what's to come, we might say that augurs well or augurs badly for future events. There's a sense in which it is a kind of smoke that precedes the fire, or the smell of a burning rubber that gives warning to an electrical fault, or clouds gathering on the horizon prior to the storm, or conversely the first rays of sunshine that break through the clouds, which augur the arrival of a sunny day perhaps. So I think there's something there about premonition, but I think augur, I may be completely wrong here, I think augur has a more specific origin. And I don't know whether I'm right in this or not, I'm completely wrong, but something in me tells me that it's something to do with birds. I'm going to have to check this when I get back. I'll Google augur when I get back. I think there's something to do with birds in the word augur. I don't know whether that means birds in the sense of a swallow, presaging the arrival of summer, or whether it means vultures presaging the arrival of a corpse, or whether it means birds in a more mythological sense, whatever that might mean. But I think there's something in there to do with birds. I will have to check. It might just be my stupid imagination. But in that sense, an inauguration speech, like Obama's inauguration speech a couple of weeks ago, hasn't just got this image of a man standing on a platform, which is pretty obvious really, and it isn't just to do with this a sense of opening or sense of stepping out onto a journey. There's also a sense in which it's something to do with this arrival of something winged, the descent of something lofty, the first arrival from beyond the horizon, first glimpse of something not of this earth, maybe. Anyhow, that entirely depends on whether I'm right about my suspicion of the word augur. If it's not, then I guess what I've just said is complete crap.